I found out about ComprehendPT from a podcast, and so that's kind of where I come up with it. And I actually spoke to Jacob. I don't remember what time it was, about 7 or 8 o'clock, I think, Central Time. So it was later. He answered the phone, kind of walked me through everything and, kind of explained it all. I use WebPT, so it integrated, as fast as it took to just kind of get it set up. I don't know, it was fast. I used it, I got it, used it the next day. For me right now, because you can do two different ways, right? So you have what's called the brain dump, and then that's more what you think of like a dictation. And then there's recording the whole session. So he went through how you would record a session. And so for me, I do a lot of brain dumps just because it feels fast for me. I think someone had asked about the IC codes, the treatment codes, diagnosis codes. Unless there's something different for WebPT, I know I have to put them in, but there may be a different way, but that's a small price to pay for as fast as this is. It's really crazy because I get really behind on my notes, like a lot of us, right? And so for an eval, I average between 2 to 6 minutes for an eval and a brain dump, and my evals are very, very detailed. A lot of people's probably are as well. Mine are very detailed, and so I know Amber's on this Zoom, and so she works with me, and she could attest to my lengthy typing. And I don't type anything anymore except for putting the codes in. And then I go to my billing sheet for WebPT and I do that. Other than that, not really any typing. It actually takes me longer, I think, to find the patient WebPT than it does to actually create the eval. So when you go into the eval, I put the codes in. And so yes, on each tab for WebPT, you do have to click comprehend, but it's so simple. When you go to the objective tab on WebPT, for me, I just created my own template, but you can just use a generic one. It doesn't matter. And if it will, like Marie was talking about neurovascular and range of motion and muscle strength, it knows where to put that information in. And so if you just simply just clicked other on WebPT and you don't want to have any of the details, it will just list it out in there. You can, just 5 minutes, you can change if you want it to be narrative, if you want it to be bulleted, your information, however you want it put in, it will do that. Mine, I have it in narrative, like unlimited sentences. So it types up this massive paragraph for me on maybe subjective information. And so that's really fast. It goes to the assessment section. And so there, the goals, I do my goals. I speak them into the mic. And so sometimes if I'm in a big hurry, I might just click, comprehend. It generates the goals. If I want to be really specific, maybe I've got a case that maybe this is a lawsuit case or something going on. I want to be very, very specific. Not saying that we're not specific all the time, but I want additional goals. Then I'm going to go in and this is my laminated cheat sheet for a brain dump, so I can go very fast. And it starts at the top, date of initial exam, prior level of function, Barthel ADL index, whatever I want to put on there. And so I go through and just talk about that. When I get to the goals, for instance, I would say, treat this patient 3 times a week for 6 weeks. Short-term goal number 1, the patient will be independent with their home exercise program. The patient will increase active range of motion by 50%, all deficit areas. The patient will increase muscle strength by 50%. So I'm just going to, that fast, I'll throw those out. And I'll say long-term goals. In 6 weeks, the patient will be independent with all ADLs. The patient will increase functional ambulation to 175 feet. And it will be very that specific and put those exact things in. And so you can do it several different ways with that. You can customize it. It's very simple. And then the treatment notes are the same way. If you're busy, you just seen your patient, you don't want to pull a laptop out or whatever, and maybe in the hospital, wherever you are, just run back to your desk really quick. You can do this brain dump. It's so fast. You hit comprehend, it's done. I can knock out evals so fast. I had a stack on my desk, and I can go through them so fast. It's really incredible. Life-changing. I've talked to Marie about it. I would never go back at this point if I didn't have to just typing out these notes. And what's so incredible, too, one of the things it's going to do is, let's say that I forget to mention that the area was sensitive and painful and the neck was painful or whatever area this is you're working on. Then what it's going to do is it automatically assumes, based off of the person's having some neck pain or limited range of motion in the shoulder, whatever it is, it knows there's tenderness there, or I say it knows, it generates it somehow, I don't know. And it will put that information together, and then it's going to put it in your eval. And then it's going to also say things like, abnormal masses were noted or things like that. If you didn't say anything about it, then it's not going to mention it. If you talk about the patient has certain things that maybe you're going to revisit at a later time, it puts all of that together as well. And then for a reassessment, it does the same thing. A recert, a reassessment, it will pull together your previous evaluation or research. It puts it together, and it's going to, in narrative or however you want to customize it, again, very easily, it's going to put this information together and say, the patient's 1080 gait and balance assessment is up 4 points from the previous evaluation on such and such date, which indicates an improvement with overall balance and safety. I didn't say any of those things about balance, safety. Again, I didn't have to repeat it. It just knows to put that information together, and there automatically must be some issues with balance and safety that we're resolving. Just really incredible. I mean, I can't say enough great things about it. Matter of fact, on my website, I have a link on my website for people to click on, and it's again life-changing. DC summaries does that. Daily visits notes, it does that. I mean, it's just incredible.